Hi students, how are you all? I hope you are all keeping well in this situation, isn't it? So today I am standing in front of you to discuss about an interesting topic, that is fiber to fabric. We all like to wear different varieties of dresses, isn't it? Have you ever wondered where we are getting the materials from? In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the materials and the sources of materials under the topic fiber to fabric. Let's begin the class. So, fibers. What is meant by fibers? Fibers are thin continuous strands which can be broadly divided into two types, that is natural fiber and synthetic or man-made fiber. What is meant by natural fiber? The fibers which we are obtaining from plants and animals comes under natural fibers. Then what is meant by synthetic fibers? The fibers which are synthesized in the laboratory by using chemical substance are called synthetic or man-made fiber. Example, nylon, rayon, polyester. Now, let's discuss briefly about natural fiber. So, as we know very well, the natural fibers are broadly divided into two types, that is plant fibers and animal fibers. So, what is meant by plant fiber? Yes, you have a correct guess. The fibers which we obtain from plants are called plant fibers. Example, jute and cotton. Now, let's discuss what is meant by animal fibers. The fibers which we obtain from animal source are called animal fibers. Example, wool and silk are the examples of animal fibers, because we are obtaining the wool from sheep and silk from silkworm, which comes under animal fiber. Now, in this lesson, we are going to briefly discuss about the animal fibers. So, let's move on to the next topic. We are going to learn the flow chart of how the fiber will be converted into fabric. So, you know very well what is meant by fiber? A thin continuous strand is called fiber. So, one or more fibers twisted together to make the yarn. This process is called spinning, in which one or more fibers are twisted together to make the yarn. Now, two or more sets of yarns are arranged together to make the complete fabric by the process called weaving. Now we are going to learn how the fibers which we obtained from sheep are processed into wool, which undergoes 6 steps. First step is called shearing. Second step is called scouring. Third one, sorting. Fourth one, burr separation. Fifth one, dyeing. And finally, sixth step is called spinning. So, what is meant by shearing? Removal of fleece of the sheep along with a thin layer of skin is called shearing. Here, the removal of hair from the sheep will be taken place. The process is called shearing process, which can be done by machines such as trimmer. Now the second step is called scouring. The sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove the grease, dust and dirt. This process is called scouring. Nowadays scouring is done by using machines. The next step is called sorting. After the scouring, sorting is done. So what is meant by sorting? The hair of different textures are separated or sorted. Now the fourth step. The fibers may contain small fluffy fibers called burrs, which should be picked out from the long hair. Now, these fibers are scored again and dried. Now, this wool is ready to take out the fibers. Now, I have separated the fibers from the wool. Now, I need different varieties of colors. So, in order to get this, I have to go to the next process called dyeing. So, in which the fibers can be dyed in different colors based upon our requirement. Now, the next step is called spinning. Now, the fibers are straightened, combed and rolled into yarn. You know very well what is meant by yarn. Many fibers are twisted together to make the yarn. Here, the longer fibers and shorter fibers are separated from it. The longer fibers are mainly used to make sweaters and the shorter fibers are spun and woven into woolen cloth. In this manner, the complete process of fibers will be taken place. We are going to learn how the silk fibers are obtained from silkworm and the life history of silkworm in this chapter. So the process of rearing of silkworm, growing of silkworm for the production of silk fiber is called sericulture. Now we will learn about life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lays eggs on the mulberry leaves. The eggs hatch into larvae, which are called caterpillars. This caterpillar will eat more and more mulberry leaves and it starts grows. And it attains a life history called pupa. Here what happened? The silkworm started producing a fiber which is made up of protein, which the caterpillar covers their body with silk fiber and turns into pupa. Now this covering is known as cocoon. And the complete development of the pupa into the silk moth will be taken place inside the cocoon. Now here, after few days, the cocoon will get broken down, from which a new silk moth will be coming out. This is the overall life history of silk moth. If we need the silk fiber, we have to take during the cocoon stage. We have to collect the cocoon and we have to keep it in the hot water so that the silk fibers will be obtained from cocoon. Now we are going to learn about the processing of silk. Here a pile of cocoons are collected and which is used to obtain the silk fiber. Here the cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled, or it should be exposed to steam so that the silk fibers are separated out. The process of taking out thread from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. So nowadays reeling can be done by using special machines so which unwind the threads or fibers of silk from the cocoon, so that the silk fibers are used to spun into silk threads, and then finally which has been woven into silk cloth by the weavers in different colors, so that we can get the attractive silk fabric by this method.